Welcome back to Africa 54. African music and fashion are finding a large audience all over the world. And a Kenyan-born artist is helping lead the way. Africa 54's Ndimyake Mwakalyelye is here with that story. Welcome, Ndimi.
Well, thank you, Vincent. It was African fashion in New York last week. Fashion Week includes runway shows, vendor exhibition, and industry networking events. It aims to raise awareness of the African fashion and entertainment professionals. More than 2,000 people, including buyers, industry influencers, and designers, were in attendance. Among them this year, Kenyan designer Liz Ogumbo, showcasing her design under Liz Ogumbo and SFGK, or Saris for Good Karma. In addition to designing, Ogumbo is also a performer and stylist. Liz Ogumbo joins us now from our New York studios in New York. Thank you so much for coming to our studios, Liz.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So how was your experience in New York during the Fashion Week? Is this your first time or you've been there before?
I've been here before, but this was the first time to actually showcase as a fashion designer. So I think it was a beautiful, benchmark, launch pad for me and what I'm doing with the sustainable fashion from Africa. So I think it was a beautiful experience.
Now, of course, as you mentioned, you've been there several times, and the African Fashion Week has been going on for several years now. What do you think it means for African designers, including people like you, who are trying to break into that market?
I think it's important for us to actually spread our wings and fly. I believe in the global market space, and I believe that, you know, with all the talent and all the energy and all the beautiful things that we're doing in Africa, I think we have to definitely get into a global space. So I think Africa Fashion Week is definitely one of the launch pads for African designers to be able to get into a market like New York. And I think that the market is wide open. There's so many other fashion weeks going on. So I think it was a brilliant decision. And I think that I would also encourage other African designers to try and get into all these platforms just to really expand the brands and really get into the global market space, you know?
Now, when you say you encourage other African designers, is it a question of just reaching out, or do you have to be invited? What's the process?
You actually have to be invited. So you get invited, you pay an entry fee. You come in and you've really got to pay your way out here. But I think the most important thing is to just, as an individual brand or designer, is to also just kind of use this as an opportunity to network outside of the Fashion Week, you know? Once you're here, it's all about trying to see how to really create, you know, make the business side of the fashion industry and what actually brings the brand here. You know, to really get out there. So I've been scheduling a few meetings with a few other buyers from different networks, people we've been reaching out to on email, and now finally, you know, when we get here and they come and perform, come and watch the show, it's a good opportunity. So I think it's just about networking either way, you know, either way.
Well, tell us a little bit. I've seen some of your designs. They're absolutely beautiful. They're colorful, they're young and fresh. What's your inspiration? And of course, you are very proudly Kenyan, and I think that comes through in your designs, doesn't it?
Yes. The inspiration behind this whole collection, this collection is called Rekebisha. In Swahili, Rekebisha means to restore. And one of the things I decided to do this year is to partner with a Durban-based organization called Saris for Good Karma. And what they do is they support local women who are kind of hopeless, you know. So what they do is they collect all of these saris, and the saris are sitting in the center. And I came in and said, you know, why don't we start making, you know, creating fashion out of these saris? And through this creation of fashion, we also teach the girls different skills. So they acquire skills through the process. And as I come out as a fashion designer to showcase this particular collection, they actually get, we get orders, we bring the orders back home, and it kind of helps sustain them in a way where they actually start working and start building, because they become our permanent manufacturing space. They acquire skills, they definitely grow, but at the same time, business is still happening as usual. So I think it's a yes. And
I read somewhere that you said if you were to choose one designer who could don your outfits, it would be Iman.
I think Iman has always been an icon. I mean, we grew up watching Iman and admiring her. And I'm just saying, you know, when you look at people and you look at their grace and the way that they are, I mean, I think she would definitely be a a perfect icon to really wear the brand and run with it. She's African. She was brought up in Nairobi, so she's definitely someone I look at as someone who could be a very good brand brand representative.
Now, of course, you're, in addition to being a designer, and we mentioned this earlier up in the introduction, you also do so many things, including singing. You actually have, I believe, several music videos out, and that's something that you really are integrating into your portfolio, I guess, of professionalism.
I think for me, again, music started as I was a child. I mean, we were born, I feel like we were born into fashion and music. It's just that we took a while to be able to start dealing with it from a commercial perspective. I've got an album that's about 2 years old, and I'm working on a new album now. My first album is entitled Ken Soul, which is my Kenyan soul, and yeah, and it's going well. It's I'm very authentic. The music is from my soul. It's from my experiences. It's from my roots and culture. It's everything that I've been able to acquire from my culture, and then everything that I've been able to also pick up from other cultures, and then music and what we love about music. I think music is a beautiful thing. So, and I also saw you on
I also saw you on video cooking chapati and mandazi. So you're obviously very,
I love food. I love my culture. I love chapati and everything. I love to create,
Right.
And so whether it's food or whether it's music or whether it's fashion,
all right,
we just create, and it's something from the soul. It's something you can't, it's priceless. It's priceless.
It's priceless indeed. Well, it was priceless having you on our show today. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything you're doing, and hope to be seeing you again soon.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Liz Ogumbo Regis Ford, designer, stylist, and performing artist. She joined us from our New York studios.